Hey everyone, this is Shadow from the Volcano forums coming to you with another video. This one's going to be a little bit more on the new Clearomizers, power flushing, dry burning stuff. Since it's a clear tank, this makes it a lot better for you to see what's going on. I have one, obviously, as you can see, it's been used, so it's ready. So what we'll do is there's that inner seal has to be removed. You have to be careful with them. Again, my custom tool. So we just get in there and pull out that seal. Be easy. And there's the seal. Okay, what we have, as you can see inside, it's pretty used. It's been baked on there. So it's time for cleaning. Okay, everything in general. So let's get to it. All right, I already got my boiled water, and my flush kit. Again, you can use turkey baster, little kitty snot sucker, whatever, as long as you can wrap around the device and create a good seal and create a vacuum in and out. This will give you a little visual of what's happening when it goes into play. So let's see if we can zoom in a little bit more here. There we go. Okay, now as we draw, you can see it goes in and out. Now, what it's doing, it has already filled the tank, okay? It's not cleaning the tank. As you can see it's still there. There's just no way to get a vacuum around there. Power flushing, like I said, is basically for the air tube and the coil to try to get all that stuff in and off as possible. So I just do a few of these. The hot water softens what's baked on there. Oop, got a little leak there. Break it free. And then shake it out. And I'm just going to do it to sync real quick to get it done faster. Just so you can kind of see it's getting a little bit cleaner. Okay, so basically, I'm just trying to clean out the tank. I know the coil and the air tube is good. I'm just trying to clean out the tank. So there. See, so it's much cleaner. The wick is still a little stained, but that'll come clean. I mean, it's just a matter of doing it a few times, whatever. Obviously, my water's cooled down quite a bit, but it'll get it in there. All right. So now to the joy part. Dry it off good. All right. So now we're ready. As you can see, it's still, baked, cooked on there. These you have to be careful. Like I said, it's a plastic tube. The other one that's been modded, I did take the mod out, but I had the whole thing come apart. No biggie, didn't scare me. Put it back together, it's not leaking. These wick so well, I took my PTB mods out and just use them as is. The other standard Cardos that I have and still use are modded. They will be modded. It's just the reasonings. These have a little larger wick. Obviously, the tube itself is smaller. That's what allows the cone, everything to fit real nice. Your other ones, people are doing syringe mods, won't work. But okay, so now we're there. So let's get into the fun and do a little dry burn. I wanted to get this through just so you can really see what goes on, what's needed, and everything. And let's get this out of the way. And hopefully this will happen quickly. I don't want to use the whole video time just doing stuff, but I want you to see. See how it's coming? That's cooking all that big stuff off. You know, just keep going. It's going to keep going and going. And then you'll see everything. It's still smoking. That's the old juice that got baked on there. I try real hard not to vape them completely dry, just for that reason, because when you do, there's not enough juice. As you can see, I have enough. I might go down a little bit lower, but if there's not enough juice to roll up and keep it wet, then it's time to refill. That's my choice. When you get them down low, then there's not enough to keep the wick wet. That's what helps baking the juice on there. So as you can see, I just keep on. I'll just let that cook. And that's basically what it's doing. At the same time it's cooking, it's wicking up all the excess water that the wick has absorbed through the power flush and the tank flush. So you can go through a little bit, blow it just a tad. It's still there, still happening. But you know, you can't scorch these wicks, so don't be afraid. Here it got quieter. You can keep getting this until it's absorbed with the water. As you can see, the wick itself is getting drier, has a little better visual. Eventually, that's all, the moisture is still being sucked in, and the baked on stuff is still doing its thing. So just to let you know, not to panic. Oh, there we go. You see a little bit of red happening. See, the coil's starting. All right, now let's get in here a little bit better, because I want you to see this, since I know a lot are a little more concerned with it. So let's get us a good little focus here. There we go. All right. Now, right now it's smoking again because there's still a bit of moisture in the lower wicks. But as you can see, I am just letting it go. That's cooking everything off. Blow it off. See, it's starting to heat up again. This is what you want to do. You want to see this. See, as long as that's smoking, there's still baked on goods. Because once all that stuff's baked off of there, you won't get anything. It'll be just a nice clean glow. Gonna make your wick white again. The coil wires itself will be cleaner, but that's all you're doing is baking off that old stuff. So you still have at it. All right, now you can see it's getting cleaner, but we'll go ahead and burn it just a little bit longer, just so I know all that stuff going. I mean, you can see just from the side, you know, the heat, there's still a bit of smoke. Look at that. It's coming clean. See? Just kind of blowing on it and stuff, let it burn. There you go. So much clean. It's baked off all that stuff. But that's all you're doing. Like I said, as long as there's still smoke coming, then you still got either a little bit of moisture on the wick itself, but you can even see that that's even dried now because it's wicked up the water. Okay, get a little Q-tip here and just clean out the condensation. It's top. Just so you can kind of see a little better. See? I mean, I let this one get real dirty just for this occasion. As you can see, it looks dirty in some spots, but it's shadows, you know, the way they come on. But again, I just fire it up. and let it go. Let it bake off that old stuff. There's no more smoking. Everything's good. There, oh, there it is. It's still, whatever little residual moisture is still in there. And it's getting in there. So, yes, I am blowing on it while I'm activating it, just so that I can blow the ash off from what's been baked and cooked and everything. Okay, so see how much cleaner and nicer that is? So now it's time to refill. All right. Now, I don't know, hopefully I won't fight it too much, but replacing the inner seal isn't super thrilling. As you can see where the wick is, there's little notches. I added and increased the size of the notch just to make it a little easier for me. Now, you line those up and try to get it to set in there just right, because that has to go back to factory specs. Reason being, it's a plastic tube. The structural rigidity is not like the standard cardos that are, you know, a stainless steel metal. So this takes a little bit of effort. Oh, as you can see, it slipped off to the side. So went in there a little crooked. But you want to get that back down on there. I'm hoping I can get this in complete for you so that you can see what it's about. And a quick refilling on these. Except you have to put these seals back to factory specs, just simply because the inside, well, hell, let me pull it out, let me show you. As you can see, it flexes. See how it moves inside? There's your problem, because that's all it is, this little connection down here at the bottom. That's all that's going to give you support. So you have to put that seal back in there. Now, there's been a lot of talk about priming cardos and stuff. You know, if you want to, fine, go ahead. I have found no need to. I mean, it's just a little bit. If, in my mind, if it can't wick while once you've filled it, and it can't wick it to get the juice wet, you know, the wick wet again, just in that short period of time, then how is it gonna form for you? So, trying to get that back on there. Like so, with these, you have to do that, because I tried power flushing with that seal inside, and it just doesn't really work. The pressure itself gets watered down into the tank with the lower wicks, and when it does that, then there's no real way of getting the moisture out, you know, the water. And you know, a drop or two of water, yeah, may not sound like much, but the fact is that's enough to thin your juice and you know, kind of ruin the flavoring. So you want to work them on there. We're fighting this, so I'm going to pause this just for a minute and get it on there.